Welcome to PAR Podcast, episode 76.52. PAR Podcast is an audio supplement for Public Administration Review, the premier professional journal in the field of public administration. This year, 2016, inaugurates PAR's 76th year of furthering public administration research, theory, and practice. This episode features comments by Derrick M. Anderson, an assistant professor in the School of Public Affairs in the Center for Organization, Research, and Design at Arizona State University. Professor Anderson discusses his article titled, Organizations, Policies, and the Roots of Public Value Failure, the Case of For-Profit Higher Education, co-authored with Gabel Taggart, a doctoral candidate in Public Administration and Policy at Arizona State University. This article is currently available in early view and will be published in Public Administration Review, Issue 76, Volume 5.
Public value theory is based on this need that we have in society to evaluate programs and policies and social enterprises generally. There are lots of different firms, and there's lots of different organizations and lots of different sort of policies and programs that we tend to evaluate along a very narrow set of dimensions, even though we justify them on a very broad set of dimensions. The problem with evaluating firms or organizations or policies along the very narrow set of dimensions, which tend to be market-based, economic, profitability-oriented dimensions, is that it fails to account for a variety of different performance outcomes. Public value theory, then, is a way of thinking that provides more than that. It provides a variety of dimensions along which we can evaluate that extends beyond how much money is made. So an example of that we could see is tobacco industry is hugely profitable, but in terms of public value outcomes, what it means for health outcomes and what it means for poverty outcomes and what it means for social equity, tobacco is a public value failure, and we've identified it as a public value failure for decades now. My co-author, Gabel Taggart, and I, we use the example of for-profit higher education to talk about public value failures. For-profit higher education is a really nice example because there's no shortage of controversy around these businesses that have sort of proliferated in the past 3 or 4 decades. The bulk of attention is placed on the universities themselves and identifying the universities and their strategies and their behaviors as the source of public value failure. And this case study allows us to also think about those specific public value failures and how they relate to the policy environment and the regulatory environment in which those organizations are situated. It's not just the universities that are at fault here in creating these public value failures. And by identifying the broader set of drivers of public value failure, we're able to create more effective ways to address those public value failures. And as people who are concerned about institutional design and organizational strategy and the design of public policy, the case of for-profit higher education is critically important because within the context of public value failure, it helps us think about the imperative to maximize public value in addition to maximizing profitability and innovation and creativity. So we're not saying that making money is bad, and we're also not saying that managerial efficiency is bad. But what we are saying through public value theory is that there are a variety of priorities that should be maximized as we design organizations and policies to provide public goods and services.
This concludes PAR Podcast, episode 76.52. To listen to additional episodes and learn more about Public Administration Review, please visit us online at publicadministrationreview.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at PEA Review. Thanks for listening.